Hello and welcome to a fresh version of Dobie Uncut. Today we're taking you inside Bill's Boutique at the Colosseum Mall in Jamaica, Queens, where I had the chance to speak with Daryl Pringle, who was credited as talent coordinator on the Emmy Award-winning documentary Set the Record Straight, the Jam Master Jay case. The film, directed by Rashidi, Hendrix, and Darla and produced by Metallic Pictures and WABC, earned multiple New York Emmy Awards in 2022. Pringle's work connected the production with voices and perspectives vital to telling this important story. Here's our impromptu conversation, which covered hip-hop fashion, history, hip-hop evolution, of course the documentary, and more.
Of that certain era.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
So that era.
Yeah. We got
Okay.
Coogee. We got Cecil Sweatsuit right here. We got Ed Hardy right here. It's Ed Hardy suit.
I'm not a fashion guy, so you have to educate me.
Okay, this is Ed Hardy.
Okay.
Back in the days. And we got
Bright designs and colors. Was that his signature?
yeah, signature, yeah.
Okay.
Then I got DC specials from back in the 80s.
Elise, yeah,
Yeah,
I used to
yeah.
wear Elise.
Then we got, Coogee.
Okay, heard Big Papa talking about it.
Yep, that's right.
Coogee down to the
Right,
socks.
Coogee down to the socks. Yeah, Coogee shorts.
And your name again, sir?
I'm Daryl Pringle. I'm a two-time Emmy Award winner too.
Okay, Daryl Pringle.
I worked on Jamaica J documentary with Murder Case, Set the Record Straight with Darla.
Okay.
So I won 2 Emmy Awards, and I got an award with Robert Daniels 2 years ago too. I got the what's the name of that award we got? Same day. I got an award with him too.
Okay. So you got it all.
I'm
the
into
stuff.
music and now I'm doing TV now, documentaries on the side.
Really?
I work with Michael Jackson's publicist on his documentary.
Okay.
Steve Manning.
Steve Manning.
I'm working on his docu-series. We started filming it like back in December. So that's gonna be very interesting. He's gonna tell a story about him being the Jackson's publicist for 50 years. So he has footage like this guy is amazing. He had some Michael Jackson was small up to Michael Jackson died. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that project. Much I was excited about Jam Master Jay's project, but this one I'm excited about because two icons. You know what I'm saying? So I have the opportunity to basically be a part of them projects.
So the Emmys were for?
Jam Master Jay documentary Set the Record Straight about Murder Case with Darla. It came on about 2 years ago. I won 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I did consulting on the project.
Okay.
So I guess now I'm working with Steve Manning.
Steve Mackey?
Steve Manning.
Steve Manning. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's been a Jackson publicist for 50 years.
Ah, okay.
He's been with them for a very long time.
Okay.
You know.
Jermaine and I are friends, but I never met the publicist.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, way
Wow.
back when.
Wow.
Yeah. First time I ever rode in a Land Rover.
Wow,
was,
with Jermaine
was
Jackson?
With Jermaine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were going to. My friend was doing MTV had the cut,
Right.
and so I had a contestant
Right.
on the cut.
Right.
And I invited Jermaine and Wolfgang. I'm like,
Oh, nice.
Let's roll.
I haven't met, it's funny, I met Michael
Okay.
in 95.
Okay.
He was doing a concert. As a matter of fact, he had collapsed next day at the Beacon Theater.
Okay.
He was at the rehearsal. I met the night before, the first time. I also get my foot in the industry door, I had some job. I worked at Def Jam for a while with DMX, with that Bloodline, his label. I worked on Cradle to the Grave soundtrack when he was alive, So I worked with Salt and Pepper on her solo album, which came out, well, it never came out, it was in 2000. And the album never came out, but 8 on 2 songs of the album with producer Rockweller.
Okay. Oh, Rockwilder, that
Yes.
music, boy.
Yes, it's a good friend of mine.
The Sonic song,
Yes.
that guy delivers it something else.
Yep.
What was the benchmark moment that brought you into the entertainment industry, though? Do you recall?
It's funny. Okay. Originally, I graduated college from commercial art. I draw,
Okay.
and I grew up with LL Cool J. He did about 12 houses for me growing up.
Okay.
So I seen his career like 1984 when it started.
He was working construction.
No, LL Cool J. I don't know what he was doing back then. He was 16.
Okay, you
So
said
he was in
build-
high school when
build
he started.
houses,
Right?
okay.
I was already in my first year of college when he started.
Okay.
So him and Earl and Cut Creator, I know we all from the same neighborhood. So I watched them come up in the beginning. So I always wanted to get into the hip hop field because I was really into the DJing and stuff like that. So him having a label, 1992, he had Uncle Records.
Okay.
And at the time, a friend of mine just studied martial arts. My family and LL Cool J studied martial arts together back in the we were kids.
Oh, okay.
So a friend of mine, Garnett, called me. He said, "Dad, you still draw?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we just signed Nas to Illmatic." And can you design a logo for him? Which I designed a logo for Nas for Illmatic, and which really we never really got bought for me because there was so many people in the middle, too many middlemen in the project.
You know how it goes. The team be messing stuff up.
Right. So I backed off of it. Then ended up getting a job at Colosseum Records, MC Shan and Fly Tie, and Magic, Mr. Magic, rest in peace. So I ended up working with them for a minute and everything. I go Hot 97 with Mr. Magic and Fly Tie. So at the time, Shan and Tyrone had some problems with each other. So let that alone. Then I got with Salt because at the time my mother passed away. So I took a year break. I knew Salt's ex-husband, Gavin. I knew him since he was a teenager. So at the time, my friend mother said, "Dad, why don't you put to Gavin and get about working on Cheryl's album?" And which I did. And he said, "What can you do?" I said, "Well, I can bring you Rockwaller, the producer." He said, "He's hot right now." So I called Rockwell up. He said, "We'll get him." So I called Rockwell up and everything and went to his house. And he said, "I'll do it for you." So he produced like 3 tracks for our album. We got a deal with Virgin Records back then.
Okay.
Jay Prince, Rap-A-Lot. That's our godbrother. So we got a $2 million budget back then for our album. From there, so the album never came out because Gavin and Virgin Records, they reneged on the deal. So, so from there, ended up going to Def Jam. So I see DMX started a label called Bloodline. So I became an intern for marketing and ended up getting a job there, And then the next thing was he spent so much money on the budget that we had no money for the artists. So money was spent, they gave us like $50 million. So when I got to Bloodline, it was down to 50,000.
Jeez.
Well, that money was spent. So
what were they doing?
I don't
Partying
know.
and doing whatever?
I don't know what X is doing. So after that, then I took a break from the industry for a while, and then got a board education. Then now I got back into television and stuff like that. So I got my first break. Like I said, I won 2 Emmy Awards 2 years ago. So now I'm back into television right now.
Congratulations on the Emmy Award.
Yep.
You said Board of Education, so I got to ask you this question.
Sure.
So the New York rappers, or rappers, period.
Right.
I'm having conversations with them. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Hype magazine, so I'm having conversations with these people constantly.
Right.
And I'm really disappointed in how
New York
our
rappers
education system is serving these people. When they get onto, and not only that, but the West Coast too.
Right.
Their lack of comprehension and understanding of, how it goes.
I can answer that for you very well.
Go for it.
Well, the problem with that was they had to dumb it down. With the Public Enemies, the Brand Nubians, the Rakims, they was educating us black people back then, about who we were. So now they changed the game because they didn't want that. Unfortunately, corporate America called shots on what to put out, not to put out. And for Metroflex started paying. And what happens is, for Metroflex, the Southern artist was paying him underneath the table to play their music, which is the dumbfounded music. You know what I'm saying? It's, I call it slave music. You know why? Because remember we couldn't read as slaves.
Right.
So basically, it's simple. So basically, these rappers now made it simple and make it dumb. They just say anything. There's no lyrics, no more.
No storytelling.
No storytelling. Right. So it's disrespectful to the culture, personally. So the schools. They was feeding. Look at Tupac. He's taught in colleges. You know what I'm saying? Because he spoke with lyrics. He had, he had lyrics and stuff like that. He dropped knowledge, so didn't want that. It's coming back to that again because the Clips got a hot album right now.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That album is on fire.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar really brought it back.
Yeah.
And what I can say with the West Coast, they didn't bite into the down south. They say strictly hip hop.
Right.
They say strictly New York was trying to say down south guys because down south was getting played on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So they figured I got to like a down south artist to get played. No, use your lyrics, use your talent. You know what I'm saying? Read. Okay. So you keep it dumbfounded, basically they're not targeting us older guys. They're targeting the younger generation. So now we keep putting up this dumb music and stuff like that. That's lack of lack of vocabulary and lack of knowledge. So this is how they want it. So now that's why you have these young guys, this drill music. These guys are killing each other. You know what I'm saying? They're going at we should learn from Biggie and Tupac that you should, 6 in stone break my bones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't let these these guys take this rap beef right now to a different level. And the industry likes that. They get off on that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they said we had an East Coast West Coast war. There was no East Coast West Coast war. Vibe magazine caused that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that problem.
Now, that's crazy because Quincy Jones was one of the owners of Vibe.
Right.
And before he passed, he retrieved all of his stock, his ownership back.
Right.
It was like Vibe was one of those that you could actually read and get good stories out of.
Right.
And then they disappeared because he split shares with the Wahoopies.
Right. So they, like I said, they created the East Coast West Coast war. It was never in that case back in the days. We couldn't have gone to the West Coast and they couldn't come over here if it was like that. That was between the artists. It wasn't between us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when they get the East Coast West Coast war, that had nothing to do with regular people. You know what I'm saying? That's saying that if they came over here, they get killed. We go over here, we get killed. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't about that.
So you've got 40, 50 years in the business?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Well, I got about 37 years.
37 years?
Right.
What's been the most rewarding part of being in the business of entertainment for you?
Being in a studio with the artists, watching them create their albums, that was rewarding. To sit there, actually sit there and be around somebody you see on TV. I'm actually sitting there with these people. I met so many artists in my days, and still meeting artists. So I think that's the most biggest part of going to the studio and watch these guys create a masterpiece, for the world to hear, So so that was the biggest part for me.
Okay. Am I interfering with his business? You want to come in and do business? Oh wow! I'm straight man. I'm strictly clitly. I'm not into pretty guys.
Right. Me either.
OG, y'all OGs though. Put me in that video, OG.
OG.
This one of your friends?
Nah, I just met him.
Oh, you just met him? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So.
If you were talking to your younger self,
right,
what would you forewarn them about having the knowledge that you have now?
I will definitely with these artists right now, your record deal. Make sure you own your masters, you trademark your name, copyright your name, and own your publishings. That's the first thing I would tell them, because back then everybody got caught into the hype of the cars and the women. But I gotta tell them, it's 100% business, 50% show. So your contracts means everything. You know what I'm saying? Of how you get paid. So when I hear some artists they didn't get paid, stuff like that. Right now they have books in this business, so it's impossible to say that you don't you got robbed from the record label. Sometimes something happens in the record label. Also too, get your own entertainment lawyer. Do not use the same lawyer as the record labels. You get your own lawyer. Basically, you depend on yourself when you get involved in the business, because it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come with a business mind. Like, this is a business. Like now they have the 360 deal. They eat off of everything that you put out. They eat off of your music, your interviews, your show money, your merchandise. Record labels getting paid off of all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was them, I would start reading more about the business. You know what I'm saying? Because you wanna make sure that you get money coming for the rest of your life. Not timeless money, short money. You want money for the rest of your life. So
that mailbox money.
Right, mailbox money. Right, because after a while, them checks start getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
Because if they ain't paying your songs in rotation on the radio, then them checks get small.
So, in your experience, what was the secret to the eternal music? We have, hits that are 30, 40 years old and still just as hot now.
Well, you look at back then, the writing, the creativity compared to now. The songs we hear right now from the 70s, 80s, those records is timeless. And and I tell anybody, especially hip hop artists, if you want to be, you don't want to be a fly by night artist. You want to be a legend like you Run DMCs. You want to be talked about because right now I don't really hear no new. I can say Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I can say J. Cole. Drake. I can say those names right now. Them names is, them names are gonna be around for a long time. But anybody else, and back then too, we had more rap groups. You know what I'm saying? Only you have right now maybe was the Migos.
Right.
That was it. But you have no rap groups out here. We had so many varieties of greatness to choose from.
Yeah.
So that era of hip hop, it can come back, but then because there's a lot of young kids out here that can really rhyme, but they being put to underground. You know what I'm saying? Not mainstream. Mainstream right now, like I said, is this drill music. And that's not saying nothing, but it's talking for young generation.
Yeah. The radio's gatekeeping mad. You know what I mean?
Oh man, the radio, man.
There's no reason why you got to spend $500,000 on a single.
Right. But that's my other problem too. Thanks for mentioning that. My problem is you as an artist, why you have to pay for, you spending money on your, the record label supposed to have the money. They supposed to give you a budget, but like that. Back in the days, you came with a demo tape. They liked you. They said, okay, we're gonna put you with the producers. We're gonna find writers for you. All that. Because right now, there's no artist development. We had artist development back then. So any more A&Rs, no more artist development. So now with YouTube, it's good and it's bad. Because basically there's no art. So basically you're throwing anything out there. And then, the numbers, the people that listen to music right now, they don't really know music like that. If I can go back and play a Rakim song 37 years later, okay, or LL Cool J song, and still know the words.
Bruh.
And this new stuff right now, I don't even know the words to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
I heard some teenager the other day, just can't live without my radio.
Right.
Well,
you know what? But
you're like 20 years old. How do you even know
what's
this?
funny? I met a kid from Paris. This was a couple years ago. The kids from overseas know more about hip hop than American kids.
Yeah.
Because they study it.
Right.
And man, this guy's like 20 years old. 20 years old. And he told me about Big Daddy Kane. I said, wow. I said, you about Big Daddy Kane? You know what I'm saying? I'd be 60 years old in September. And to hear these guys, young kids from Europe, stuff like that, talk about hip hop, they knew more than the kids over here. And a lot of times, the kids over here, if their parents is not playing, like my son, he's on 38. So all he heard me play was Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Public Enemy. So of course he grew up playing that. And then my grandson, they hear that stuff.
Right.
So it has to be passed down.
Right.
And once the kids hear it, their parents or grandparents played it back then, because that was our era.
I did a couple interviews with EFN from Drink Champs.
Right.
And he had done that Latin America tour. He went to Cuba, El Salvador, Colombia.
Right.
And part of the conversation that we had was him reporting to me that the kids over there said that the Americans have lost their way in the culture of hip hop.
We sure did.
And that they're more authentic
into it
than we are here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a heck of a statement. So when you mentioned that about the young man in Paris, I'm like, man, that story sounds familiar.
Yeah, because like I said, we are New York. Like I said, New York. We was the leaders. Also, we became followers. We started following what everybody else is doing, and we didn't stick to our game plan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for much of Flex started playing that down south stuff. The New York guys said, New York wasn't getting played on the radio, so they figured, okay, we got some down south artists to get played on the radio. Now down south don't support New York music. When you go down to Georgia, they're playing only them. They might play a little bit of Jay-Z, something like that. But they ain't like up here, we play everybody. The West Coast, they show love too. But the South, they're not show us love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes they be saying, oh, New York is wax like that. So New York ain't whack. I said, we got MCs. We have MCs, okay? Y'all got rappers. We got MCs, lyrical MCs. What makes a true MC is he has bars. I said, these guys don't have no bars. They're gimmicks,
So we're on the same page. I differentiate between hip hop and rap.
Right, there's a difference.
The rap is the child of hip hop, but hip hop is not just a genre; it's a whole culture.
It's a culture.
And rapping didn't start with hip hop.
No.
It was in Jamaica. The Selectors were doing their thing.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And we even go further than that.
Yeah.
Hip hop goes back to the 1940s. It's called scatting.
Scatting.
Yep, it's called scatting back in the days.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who was that woman? Ella Fitzgerald used
right.
to kill it.
Right, they scat back then.
Yeah. And
once
Mel
it got
Torme,
right.
the white guy.
Right. So once we started, once it got to our generation, we had to put words together. We knew wordplay. You know what I'm saying? And we put words together. Then the birth of the MC came. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I was with Melly Mel not so long ago, and I said to him, we grew up in Hollis, Run DMC, and LL Cool J. I said, the message is the greatest to me. It's the greatest song of all time because you told a lot of stories about New York in one song. You know, before Stick Rick, you had Jimmy Spicer. You know what I'm saying? The Venture Super Rhymes. He told like 3 stories on one album. You know what I'm saying? So you would never have that again. You know, we had a variety of. We had Stick Rick, Dougie Fresh. Nobody. You know what the problem is right now? Everybody sounds the same.
That part.
Everybody sounds the same. Like I said, it looks like identity because everybody wants to sound the same. No, what makes a great MC is Cool G Rap looks like no Rakim. You know what I'm saying? But Daddy Kane looks like Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own identity. You know, so and that's why we appreciate good hip hop. You know, so that's very important too. Not to sound like everybody else. You know.
Okay. So what I understand you to say, one of the biggest thing that you miss is the lyricism, is the storytelling.
Right.
That the foundational bricks of hip hop.
Right.
Then the culture's been betrayed by the industry in order to further denigrate our people, the black and brown, and the women, and throw us back in. They just slapped on the chains and images of psychological slavery again.
Again, that's right.
Through the music industry.
Because music is a very powerful tool. Make you happy, sad, commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? That's how powerful it is. So when you listen to a hip hop artist, such as a Rakim or Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? They're two separate people. Nas. Nas is one of my favorites. So listen to him and stuff like that. And where he's going with his music and what he's saying, you guys sit down, listen to the beat. Listening to the music, listen to his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And if I could say a Rakim verse from 37 years ago, that just tells you right there from,
I'm recording, baby.
You know, if I could remember, thinking how hard it was to be born, me being cream with no physical form. That's on Rakim's third album. Okay, so that's something that's over 37 years old. I couldn't even tell you a verse on a new album right now. Because these new guys, I can't even. And it's funny because these kids go to these concerts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're yelling the artist's lyrics at the concert the whole time. He's not really reciting all his lyrics because the crowd's yelling out his lyrics. That ain't fun to me. I come and see you perform and hear you spit those words. You know, so that's that's important to me. You know, in the culture.
It's amazing.
Yep.
If you had to close out.
Okay.
60 seconds.
Yes.
Message to hip hop.
Message to hip hop is come back to the reality, to where we used to be. You know, knowledge is king. Okay. Negative is not good. You know what I'm saying? Bad negative is not good energy. And you're ruining the young generation. They need to be taught. They need to be hear the lyrics. And they know that bars mean something. You know, so I'm hip hop for life. I'm hip hop forever. Yep.
And your name once again?
Daryl Pringle.
Daryl Pringle.
Yep.
Look at the store. Look at the history. Yep. He's still maintaining it. Don't worry, I ain't gonna get you, Joe. He be moving. You see the camera coming around. He is out of there, buddy. But he got my back. Look at that. The Cool G. Pull that Cool G out again.
Oh yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That one, that yellow one. Look. Biggie was talking about it. He still got it. Cool G ain't gone nowhere.
That's right.
It's right here in Mr. Pringle's store. What's the name of your store again?
This is called Bill's Boutique.
Bill's Boutique.
Yes.
Lisi. Y'all remember Lisi?
That's right.
Not from the other side of the tracks. We wore something different.
Right.
We was on some Pele.
Pele.
Yeah, or some food boot.
Came in the 90s.
Yeah.
This right here was definitely
a little earlier. Feli.
Yep.
Yeah.
All back in the days, you know.
So now, I just got to ask you a style question now. Right. All of these started in the East Coast?
Yes.
These brands, these label brands?
Yes, we started in the 80s. You know, the hustling era was a big thing here in New York.
Okay.
And the big fat gold chains, the Lychee sweatsuits, the Feli sweatsuits. You know, that was a big popular thing here in New York. You know, if you look at Paid in Full videos with Rakim, look at the dress code Big Daddy Kane. That's how we dressed in the 80s.
Okay.
You know, and everybody came in here, Colosseum. You know, all the rappers, we used to have Shirt Kings. Everybody used to come take pictures with them. They were the first guys to airbrush.
Okay.
So Jamaica Warner, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He had a shirt made in here. He wore on the Cosby Show. We airbrush a picture of him on the Cosby Show. You know, BBD, Michael Bivins, New Edition, Biz Marquis, they all came in here back in the days. You know, I witnessed them coming in here. Some of them still come in here sometimes. You know, you might catch some of them coming here. You know, you have mostly Jim Jones coming here a lot though.
Okay.
But old school wise, this place to be so crowded. You know, you went outside, it was like a car show. Only thing you see with BMW Benzes, Porsches back then, a line of cars on the whole strip.
This was his hot spot.
It was a hot spot, you know.
And the gentrification kind of worked its way from the outside in.
Yeah.
I saw the brand new buildings up against the brownstones. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, that's new construction.
New construction.
They're slowly trying to push it out of here.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So they
I'm sorry, you need to answer your phone?
Nah,
I see.
My phone's in the
Okay.
I thought it was in my pocket.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, we know our phones become a part of our life.
Okay.
You know.
Mr. Pringle, I wanted to say thank you very much for the history lesson.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking about the style of hip hop and where it broke out of, and showing us some of the vintage labels, you know, that are still around, making noise. Appreciate your time, and congratulations again on your 2 Emmys.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
There's more work to be done for me. I'm not done, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because you never stop. Hip-hop's never stop.
Hip-hop never stop.
Yep.
All right.
That was my conversation with Daryl Pringle at Bill's Boutique in Jamaica, Queens. You can learn more about his role in Set the Record Straight, the Jam Master Jay case, in the Emmy-recognized documentary directed by Rashidi, Hendrix, and Darla Miles, online. Stay tuned for more features coming up. Really enjoyed you, and thank you for listening.